turn this down. Yeah, Aziz, man, Aziz gets around, doesn't he, Karen?
Does he?
He's the soccer one, right?
He's the one that Morocco made it.
Yeah,
they're not in the final though.
He does cruise around all over, but he's the soccer buddy. I like you without the hat.
No hat today, guys.
I'm wearing what is this, like the Rolling Stones, but it says Galveston?
We got this at the Galveston Pier.
But
she bought one of everything in the gift shop.
I did. Isn't this, though, the one, it's like the Rolling Stones cover?
Yeah, but with teeth.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Hello, Let It Go. Hello, EXO family.
What's up, peeps?
We don't have a clever, hold on, I got a cat hair. Hold on.
She's got a cat hair, you know. I don't know. I mean, like when you guys, it happens to Mandy sometimes, and I don't really mention it, but when you guys like put makeup on, does a cat hair get in it?
Well, I think it's probably on this.
Well, if you have 3 cats.
Well, like and then if I go like this and try to pull it, then they're like,
it's a whole thing.
Scratch and sniff. I'll scratch and sniff all day long. Let me do my pits.
I know, right?
So you guys, wow. What did we watch before we went live?
Hey, tell them.
Barbie, Backwoods Barbie. I've been telling y'all to watch her for a long time.
Y'all know who Backwoods Barbie is, right?
You know, she keeps it pretty, she is like the upper echelon of the drama. She's doing Sister Wives and that kind of stuff. But Lord, when she found out there was a Dr. Phil episode at play here, she went, oh Lord. She said, will you, are y'all okay, Nashon, if I make a video? I said, you do your thing. You do your thing. She completely outdid herself. I have to say.
She likes us. Really likes you.
I mean, I never thought about, I didn't think she's been telling me for a long time she enjoyed watching us. I had no idea she didn't know that was Sean's ex-wife until about a month ago.
So,
she goes, who is this? I mean, and then she said, is it the mother of of Sean's girls? And I was like, no. I said, you really don't know, do you? And she's like, no. And I said, well, here, let me send you a link. And I sent her the Dr. Phil link. Beyond that, research.
So, Backwoods Barbie did not know that anything about Dr. Phil, didn't know anything about the Beast, and most dramatically did not know that Mandy is now.
She knew about Truthfully Trisha. She didn't know she was your ex. I guess she said she's.
It was a huge coincidence to her because she knew who Truthfully Trisha was.
She said, but like she said, she moved along. She watched it.
Yeah.
And she was like,
like a lot of people do. They look at the lolcows. They either are intrigued by them or they're not.
Yeah.
And she wasn't, but she does really like us. She had a really nice endorsement of our channel, by the way.
Karen's feeling spunky.
Is she?
Yeah.
Extra cans will be canned tonight.
So tonight, if y'all saw my Twitter, and I'm not going to relate it. That's not my place. But if you saw, I posted that there was a man that was to be executed today in Mississippi. And it did take place. No. And it is only the second one in 10 years in Mississippi. And if anyone deserved it, this one did. Yeah. He was a Marine recruiter, stopped to help a 16-year-old girl change her tire. She said something he didn't like. I don't think that's the extent of it. But told her he was a Marine and he could help her. And proceeded to make her life a living hell until he killed her that night. So
sat on death row for about 20 years. And yeah, they executed him tonight.
Yeah. And I'm from Texas, and if you look at the statistics of Texas executions, and I think the second only to, I think, Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia.
And that's how they roll in Texas.
No, I think Texas is more than Georgia.
No, it is. But I'm saying second only to Texas is Georgia.
Right. Yeah, people talk about the death penalty, and if you get put on death row and all that, and you're not going to be executed. You get put on death row in Texas, you're going to get it. They're going to execute you.
I remember one time there was a pending execution, and they were watching when George W. Bush was governor, and they were watching him to see if he was going to stay it or whatever. He was on the golf course.
Yeah, he was golfing.
He was like, I can't. He was teeing off. He was like,
any chance you might sign a stay? Because I didn't pick up the phone.
Yeah, he's like, no. So there was that, and the guy finally exhausted all of his appeals.
And his lawyer's statement was that he no longer seeks to, because one of the things that I did read is that he did have an open case where, and it's kind of, if you think about it in a way, it's like he was suing the state of Mississippi for their inhumane tactics by using lethal injection. So he's got this open litigation against the state, and they're like, well, we're going to wrap this case up right now. Because
I'm just saying, I just was saying, Karen, one of our mods can post the Backwoods Barbie link.
Yeah.
And then y'all can watch it now and come back, but watch it later, whatever you want to do.
We'll
be here. We'll be here in 23 minutes after you watch it. Might as well.
Mandy's like,
it's a Christmas gift to you, Beast.
Yeah.
We gave you divorce papers. You didn't like that.
Didn't like that either.
You wanted it for Christmas. We gave it to you. Now a
all
creator
kinds of court cases
with
you're in.
50,000 subs called your bullshit straight out. Straight out. That's Christmas gift this year.
I saw it, like the look in your eyes. It's like, so when people come into people's streams and like say, oh my God, and say someone else is live or whatever, and people run off, it's kind of like,
we'll be here.
Yeah,
go take a watch. We'll be here.
Go watch it. We'll be here.
Yeah. I'm gonna let Aziz and Karen take care of it. Aziz, you're our soccer buddy, but our mods and our friends, they don't like people who flip flop around the grid. But so anyway, I had no idea that it was gonna be that good, but it was good, and she made some.
She's got
well researched.
She's got 45 or 50,000 subs for a reason. I mean,
yeah, she grew fast. Remember when she used to come into our chat way back when?
About 10 or 15,000 or something like that.
No, not even that many.
Really?
Like 1,500 or something. Her normal thing is Sister Wives.
Duck Dynasty a little bit. I saw one about that.
She'll read hate comments, and for a while she was beefing with Without a Crystal Ball, who was another one that has a whole bunch of subs.
Yeah. And
took notice of did he really, Karen? Aziz, she was glowing. She ain't pregnant. Anyway, take a view, come back. Sean, put your old contacts in tonight.
I will. I have to hold the phone way out here, but
I feel bad. I keep forgetting to get the eyeglass repair kit. I bet you Target would do it for free. I'll read it to you, baby.
Yeah, you don't have to.
He's my little man.
I always would make fun of people when they would hold a book, or you go up to somebody and you're like, here, and they look at it and they're, well, yeah. I'm doing that right now, and it's because of my contacts. It's not. If I take my contacts out,
And he got home at just after 6 today.
I got home early, guys.
I time my errands to the last, if I have to do evening errands, I was going to make a lean-to for the chickens because they won't go in their chicken coop. So I went to Home Depot.
Well, it's not like they won't go. The rooster's not letting them go.
We think. Oh, because he's Karen. He knows how to flirt. He said, you're glowing too. So I had this tarp. Actually, I did get the tarp. It's in the car. And I was getting some cheap, 6-foot wood to lean against. And I was going to staple the tarp to it and do a lean-to on the side of the house so that they don't sit in the cold rain. And I was over it.
A rooster is...
I think he's chasing him out.
He shouldn't do that, especially if it's right. So he goes in and they have to stay out?
Well, I know just before they go to bed at night, if it's before he's ready for them to go to bed or whatever.
He doesn't let him go in.
But I think it might, yeah. But I'm going to watch him tomorrow and see if he keeps them from going in. It's cold and rainy, and they're all chilling outside.
It's nasty out there. Okay, so chickens aren't humans, right? They have feathers. They stay pretty warm, but they're also tend to be smart enough to know if it's pouring down rain or something to go. They don't like the rain. Even if they're in the middle of the yard and it's just drip dropping, they go somewhere. Mm-hmm. They don't like it.
They were probably under the shed a lot too, But when I opened the door, starting to let Sawyer out and doing that, and they heard me with this big door open, they were all staying in front of the door. So I did their tomatoes and all of that stuff. And then they just stood in the rain. So I put the Christmas tree tub on its side next to the house.
And they went in there,
and they went in it, yeah.
Yeah, I'll figure out something. We're thinking about getting a smaller little chicken coop to put on the opposite side of the house. I think that's a good idea.
I do too. Aziz, I do just have a question just out of curiosity, and it's probably true. Do you do, like, you go to both? Do you know that's Sean's ex-wife? I'm sure. I just am curious because some people don't.
Oh, he goes over there?
Yeah, that's what they were talking about. He was telling
They're going to find you, man.
She was telling her she was glowing.
They're going to find you. You can't do that, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just he knows. Yeah, I mean, we're all for, I mean, if people go both places, people go both places, but you're going to take some shit. You're going to take some shit. And if you annoy, let it go, you better keep the facts soccer related, because she's...
Yeah. He's like, he knows.
I don't even
Well,
know.
I mean, I was just highly impressed that, he called the World Cup.
Is she live?
Pretty,
I didn't know she was live.
He called the World Cup stuff pretty accurately.
Sean's like, if you're talking sports, you can go visit.
Well, he said Morocco was going to win, and I'm like, Morocco?
He's like, I got another ex-wife, too. You can go visit her if we're going to talk sports.
Yeah, she's in Ecuador.
He probably doesn't know about that one.
No, maybe not.
There's only 2. Oh, you went and ate the cat food, didn't you?
You bastard.
He was like, well, he's like, no, I know who my daddy is.
So when you have to go in the middle of the night and you're trying to wake people up, you're going to get put down on the bed.
That is an ironic coinky-dink. When did Karen sent me the link. When did her video premiere? Was it like, Karen, was it right before you sent the link, or was it before that? This is Sean's, we're going to smooth it over with the chat. Simple.
I'm going to let y'all talk, and I'm just going to be like, go Bulldogs.
Do you like that? When do they play, on Saturday?
No, they play on New Year's Day, or the day after New Year's. They're in the first bowl is Friday, and it's UTSA against Troy State.
Hold on one second.
Oh man, it's starting to pour now.
Who's Mandi?
I should have built a fire tonight, man.
No, Backwoods Barbie. When did did you catch it right when it premiered, or I don't know. I watched it when you sent me the link. So I'm curious the timeline. So did the video come out, she went live, and we went live? Or was the video out while I'm just curious the timeline. We keep it very factual.
We try. We don't use the Freedom of Information Act for live streaming.
For lollygagging.
For lollygagging.
No, we don't. But okay, so last night on Emergency.
Yes!
Molly's kid lived.
Yeah.
There was that. Mm-hmm. The exam, the computer ate the exam, so they had to take it again. Okay, very cool. Okay.
Here's what the big discovery on Emergency last night was that they have fatalities.
Yeah, it was kind of serious.
On TV in the 70s, you didn't have a lot of death.
And I don't even know if TV would show it that detailed now.
So they were showing, and it looked like a cop and robber chase scene, but then you realize it was a movie prop, but there was an accident in the car.
He's sleepy, Rachel.
Flipped over on the, what is she saying?
She said, is he sick? His face looks swelled.
I'm kind of sleepy, but I got home early.
Yeah.
So I drank a Monster. I'm trying to get on it. But, so anyway, they, the car flips over, and you're thinking, they got to respond to an accident, so the emergency guys, they do that Squad 51 thing, and they go. And one of the people that worked on the movie set got like a acetylene torch out or something. I don't know what he was doing.
It was like a welding torch.
A welding torch.
He was going to open
they were going to open the,
mm-hmm.
They were going to weld, they were going to get the door open. But of course, anybody, like I'm sitting there going, you can't do that because there's gas and fumes and all that.
So they pull up, and what do they say? Stop, don't do it. But it's too late.
What is that guy doing? Oh my God. So they, the car blows up, and the guy is on fire. So he running off to the side. They tackle him. But then, like, one of them looks up because the car's on fire, and he goes, don't even look in there. And they didn't make it, And I was like, wow. This is
I was
1975.
kind of surprised too.
Yeah.
I was surprised that
I mean, it happens now on TV, but not really back then too much.
But the biggest thing, even thank you, Rachel. The biggest thing is that even though they show similar things, there's so much recreation and different types of safety things now. They literally lit a car on fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like legit, that's how they used to film it. They didn't have all those special effects and stuff. So they flipped a car over and set it on fire.
Yeah, it
was pretty serious. Yeah.
But it was not a very well thought out, like, hey, Chet, go get the torch and let's cut when you obviously have gas and everything.
Yeah.
It wasn't a very smart move.
So anyway, it was a very serious situation. But
that's what happened.
We're gonna watch it again tonight.
Yeah.
Once again, it's raining. Once again, it's raining.
It rains every day.
I keep seeing Aziz. I'm sorry, buddy. I can't help you out on that one.
They're getting roasted.
They're speaking facts, saying you realize you support someone that lied and said Sean beat her up. I mean, I'm like, I can't argue with that,
man. That might supersede the soccer knowledge at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it actually is very appreciative that people support us like that, and but yeah, so it'll be back on tonight. Hey, she posted last night. I didn't see. Alice is the white-haired pinhole camera.
Did she leave it up though? I mean, doesn't she like?
No, she leaves it. Someone needs to let her know that Alexa might be listening to her. I don't know if Alice knows that. Maybe she doesn't have an Alexa.
Yeah.
Maybe
there are YouTubers in the community that Alexa takes over.
Yeah. Our Alexa just plays Christmas music.
Yeah, it does. I mean,
but apparently,
occasionally, I mean, Alexa sometimes will break out in with some Tom Petty here and there, but yeah.
Look at this baby.
He's like, you know what he said? He was like, you started your live stream later than normal.
I know. He's like,
so 45 minutes into your live stream, I'm gonna act the fool.
Oh, she has the video? Okay. I'm like, I wish you could see. I feel bad for you.
What?
That you can't see it.
It's okay.
So there was today, in the news, RSN went live very, very randomly today.
Like a pop-up live or whatever.
Yeah, and then he put it on private. So when I tried to watch it from the beginning, it was his Real Drama Stars. It's the one he normally does with Katie, but she wasn't on it. And what he did from the beginning is he played a video by someone like named Just Breezy or something, and I can't find it. I could only see it on his, and I don't know where it is. I guess Katie got wasted, went to a bar, and brought a stranger home, and they were live.
Just going at it, you mean?
No, I don't know about that, but brought a stranger home. And then he put it on private, but he apologized for the randomness of the live and this and that. So I have a feeling he was pissed off at her, and that's why he went live and showed this video or whatever.
Ooh, why is he salty? I don't think they had anything more than
fight every other day.
Yeah, but
so anyway, I guess that happened, and I don't know how long ago it happened or what came of it. Hey, Sarah, but did anybody catch it, or or do they know where the original video from Just Breezy?
So this didn't happen like last night or whatever, or
it doesn't look like it.
So why would Marble Mouth care about that?
I think he was trying to stick it. It looked like they were probably arguing, so he went live and he played the video.
But why? See, that's okay. So people that are here, that's freaking creepy. That's
and you couldn't really understand anything he was saying.
And then he was fucked up again.
Yeah.
I get tired on here, right? But I can guarantee, other than overdosing on caffeine or whatever. But see, that guy is a fucktard, man. Sorry, there goes our monetization. But I've tried to say the guy is creepy, and he does that to women.
And he does.
That's the thing.
When he said, he was like, I'm sorry about the randomness, I need to go. And then he doesn't normally put it on private, but the way he cut the stream and put it on private, I'm thinking Katie was like, I'm about to fuck you up.
No, he flips his shit, and that's what he does. That's what he does. He has a cycle like everybody else, but when a dude starts creeper like that, I mean, I'm not here nor there with that actual event, but I'm here to tell you, the guy is a creep.
He's a creep.
He's a creep. I have no love for Katie, but
well, it's if she's bringing strangers home.
Yeah, but
people do that when they get drunk. It's not like that doesn't happen. But most people don't put it live.
Right, they don't put it live. And someone else, that other YouTuber, why?
He was mad about something.
Yeah, and so he's going to exploit her.
Well, sometimes they'll get into an argument why they didn't go live, who was more fucked up.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well,
she'll go, you were fucked up, you couldn't even whatever. And he was like, oh, this from the person who, and I was like, y'all are made for each other.
That would be good. That would be good entertainment.
But they're made for each. Anyway, did anyone catch it? Number one, and number two, does anybody know where the Just Breezy video originated? Because I couldn't find it. I don't even know if it was the channel name, or it was just written on the thing. I don't know, because I'm curious to see what the stranger looked like when you got them beer goggles on.
All of a sudden, that 4 becomes an 8.
Yeah, was it a closing time take home, or was it a?
Did she spend some quality time with them? Okay.
Yeah, that was my curiosity.
But Katie is like, she is known for that, right? Like she'll go to the bar and just hook up with somebody or whatever.
Apparently more often than we realize.
Well, but I mean,
she said the other day, was talking about how she's trying to rein it in because she is doing that.
It's really none of our business. But if it's like, we know, we've seen her on camera doing what people thought was,
What, Sarah? Why is she getting on you? Why is the beast getting on you? That's not cool. Let it go said, and the beast is on you now, Sarah. Who are you gonna go for Sarah for?
Wow.
She's one of the nicest people in the community. That's like when people used to drag or talk shit about not UFTA, but it was someone like that. And
really?
I'm like, what do they do other than give money to everybody? I mean, like Sarah's one of the nice.
Well, this because UFTA was probably not giving money to that particular creator. You know what they say about,
Wait a minute, she went in her chat. Who went in her chat? I'm just curious. Not gonna flip my shit. Just curious. Because she probably went in and said something. Now Trisha's launched into her. Is what gets. Sarah, don't worry. I've come a long way.
Yes.
I've come a long way. Look at Aziz. He's taking it in the shorts from Let It Go, and
she goes unblocked.
When I was watching, Paula was live earlier, and Paula mentioned who that Lumpy Cakes or whatever the hell that troll name is. That they come in every once in a while to a video and like, Mandi, you're, and I'm like, what? And I just delete the video. I don't really care, but I mean, I delete the comment. But so she said she fancies herself like a Corey Chainsaw, and
don't fancy yourself.
Well, but that's what this Lumpy Cakes. And Stitching went, oh, you're gonna get a Corey video, and I said she's sitting up in her coffin right now, hissing like a cobra. And she's like, she's gonna put the camera on the cat poster.
Oh my God. So you guys that
I didn't even know the girl drugged me all the time. I didn't know Corey hated me until someone was like, you do know that like every 5th video is about you. And I was like, no.
And add Just back to that list too, because
come back in, Just back. I want to kick you out again.
So do you guys ever like look at the comments under our live streams? Because there's one person that comes in, it off the top of my head, it's the same person. And every so often, they leave like 3 comments in their...
the Trisha Paytas person?
Yeah, it's the same person, but it's, it's not always... At first, I thought it was just a Trisha Paytas fan, and we got that... I don't know if we hashtagged Trisha Paytas or whatever, and they went and watched us. They were highly upset by the fact that we mentioned that they were in financial problems. I mean, Trisha said that.
That's where I got it from.
Why are we making fun of their kid? We weren't making fun of their kid.
Like the name. They said, that's a perfectly fine name. Well, no, it's not, first
anyway,
of all.
It seemed like that they were over the top, overprotective of Trisha Paytas. Whatever. Okay, so we got a Trisha Paytas fan in here that takes exception. But then the same person came in and they were talking about... it was just a series of things.
Okay.
And like, they couldn't... It was like they watched part of our video and then left a comment. And then... another part of our video, they left a comment. They leave like 3. And they're just like lambasting our facts. They're like, we don't, we just talk out our ass or whatever. It's funny.
We do talk out our ass. I mean, that is what most people do when they go live. They don't have a, but she doesn't even have a picture, does she? Isn't it just an initial thing?
It's not, I mean, if it wasn't funny, if it wasn't like,
ironic.
amusing to me, then it would just be like, oh, there's this troll, and just So I've pinned comments by them, you know.
Have you?
Oh yeah, and
I like doing that too.
yeah. What were they talking about?
Yeah, see, Let It Go has us. She said she checks the video after we've gone off and she takes the hateful comments down.
And you know what? Sometimes they're not hateful. They're stupid.
She means the nasty ones.
Yeah, and that's cool because there's sometimes
Very
I come
cool.
in and I what happened?
Aziz,
Uh-oh.
peace be with you. He's gone. He's
Uh-oh.
in.
Is he still?
You
still?
go back to, but Trisha's probably still alive. I can tell by her number she's still alive.
Yeah.
You can go back and hang with her and have a good one. Am I glowing though? Before you go. You're hidden. You can't talk.
Yeah, you got the lipstick going on, but
it's that time of the month.
Yeah, I'm about to go fishing.
He's gonna go fishing. Which is why yesterday I forgot that I had bought this pair of boots, and then when we went to a party this last Saturday, I was like, "What about these boots?" And he was like, "They're a little racy, but not the ones I bought because I put the ones that I bought. I didn't wear it a couple weekends ago, and I put them with the box back in the side of the closet. And then I'm looking for boots to wear with this dress, and I don't have the right ones, so I wear something else." And then I was in the closet yesterday, and I was like, "What?" And I pulled the box up and opened it, and there were those damn boots. So, you know me, I work with dementia, and it was like, apparently it was the time of the month and all of this. So I was crying to Sean about forgetting about the boots when I went to look for boots to wear the other day.
And you know,
that's PMS crying right there.
And I walk in from work and I it takes me a second to gather myself to try to comfort my wife sometimes, and it.
But you have a look of empathy. You always do. It's amazing. Like
I feel kind of helpless though sometimes because I'm like, wow, you know, this is the woman that I love with all my heart, and she's pouring something out, and she's hurting, and I'm like, oh, get it together, Sean. I know you have no energy, but you know that's your woman. You have to be there for her right now. So, it was about the boots, you know.
It was so sweet though, because he was like explaining why I might have forgotten it. Mm-hmm. Part of what happens is if there's something extremely stressful going on in my life, not so much now because I don't really have it anymore. My brain can dump it. And not only does it dump that moment, that span of time, maybe 1 or 2 days, not dump it like if I killed somebody, I wouldn't remember. I don't mean it like that, but just details and things like that. And so sometimes I've had friends, children, get really upset because I don't retain what they've already told me. Mm-hmm. So if I say, how did, you know, whatever go, they're like, that's not what it, not my friends like here. Really, it's only a kid.
And it's pouring out now.
And I feel bad, but I'll dump it. Mm-hmm. My brain will dump it. It's so much better now that we're here. Like, and we, you know, she says, Katie. Yeah, I've heard that Chainsaw will admit when she's wrong, but I think it's only because you're a fellow Canadian stitching.
But
I think
you can only admit you're wrong. So if you admit that you're wrong, but you keep doing things over and over and over again, who cares if you? And an admission, it's like, oh, I slapped that person, and I was wrong for that. And then a week later, you slap somebody else. I mean, after a while, it's like,
yeah. Menopause is a bitch. That brings another question. I'm 44. When we first got here, I went 2 months without one, and then this time it was about 2 months without one. Is that how it starts? Is that how menopause starts?
It's kind of nice for me because
I know. Hey, Rabbit Trash Panda. I saw you on Paula's.
Hey.
Is that how it starts? Like, I don't have hot flashes. I don't have like, what's the other stuff? Well, everybody talks about they're dry, whatever. Don't have that.
Doesn't have that.
I'm just curious. Like, is that how it starts? You start to every once in a while.
Her libido is good. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm just saying it's not.
I'm just curious, like, if that's how. I meant to ask Karen before. Well, and she said, "Be careful, Mandi. My mom was 48 when I came about." Well, that's kind of what I'm hoping.
That's what
we're
we mean,
hoping that window hasn't closed.
We're you know, we've spent the first few years, you know, getting established and, you know, getting rid of the legal parts of it and settling down and working on credit and this and that. I mean, and as we're doing this, you know, this hourglass is kind of there. So
when I got checked by the fertility specialist about a year ago, I was good to go. Like, they were like, yeah, you are a candidate. You know, we will probably do in vitro because, for many reasons. But, so it's time to get back on that. First of year, it's our January the 1st. It's our thing. We're gonna.
Yeah, that's our goal. I mean, and I've told Mandy this, and
Sarah's over there giving her hell.
Is he?
So I hope someone's recording it because she'll hide her channel.
I don't want, to be 60. I don't want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be, and I'm 53. I'm 55.
So what I might
That's
do tonight is
what.
when he's dead asleep, I'll be like, Sean, the baby's crying, get up. And he's gonna be like, no, I'm tired. And I'll be like, see, told you. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know, man. I mean,
I think that older mothers are much more patient, is what I've been told. I just want to, if it's going down over there. And here's the thing, the Beast would have gotten a few subs off this Backwoods Barbie video, but she hides her damn channel.
Yeah.
What a pussy ass thing to do. You go live, you talk shit, then you hide your channel. What's the point of that?
Yeah. And we know why she does. She hides the channel because people will, review her live.
And find places in the past in her old videos where she slipped and said Sean was a good guy.
That's the biggest thing for her that she doesn't like is
he called her an amazing. She said he's an amazing lover.
But not just that, but other real incriminating things that are in all these videos.
Yeah.
I mean, my videos, and all you have to do is, I have a whole channel that was okay, and there was a lot of those videos. I just put certain ones on private.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do.
Yeah, girl, I heard, Sarah, I'm hoping someone recorded it because I heard your reputation preceded you into the chat. I heard you were something else. Yeah, that's really the thing though. She doesn't want her chat reviewed or whatever.
It's too late. We talked about this a little bit last night, and we bring it up from time to time. She's maligned, and it's like when we talk about, is she on is she doing OnlyFans or is she on Hamster or Pornhub? Her boobs. Google
has them, yeah.
And it's hard. It's like I was married to her, and I was over there, but our community, kind of reveled in me getting away. It was the opposite for me in our drama community.
I can't imagine. I'm not going to say his name. Even her son, he was in the Marine Corps locally there. Young guy, Marine Corps young, and she was putting that stuff out. And he took a shit from his coworkers because his mom was a cheap.
Imagine, you're the camaraderie. You're in a unit, and the people that you work with have seen, your mother.
That's what I'm saying.
It's wow, man.
They'll razz each other anyway. And I asked my son. I said, if I were to have done this, and it wasn't even tasteful stuff, it was just stuff here and there. And not only did I act a fool, but I did actual porn on OnlyFans, and Pornhub and Hamster had my cheap ass grainy naked
boobs
pics
everywhere.
Or whatever, and Tanner was like, I'd be mortified, and I that might be the only time I ever denied you as a mother, because I've seen people get on be like, your mom's a whore. If not, he didn't say that about me.
No,
but there's people whose their dad and their mom, their dad is in the Army, right? And he's finishing his career. Son comes in, mom is a whore, and he takes shit because his mom is a whore. Yeah, that's what he compared it to. He said there are people.
I could never. I have to admit, I should have figured that long before I was gone from that situation.
Yeah.
But you put yourself in a position. You control what you can try to control, and you try to nurture what you can. There were certain things that you just tried to live with, you're for better or for worse, but that has to be awful. I know with my stepson, with Mandy's son, we have gotten in an argument. We're both combat arms guys, right? And we're going back and forth, and he's making fun of the Cav with the infantry, and I'm making fun of the infantry. I'm Cav, and we're brothers on the battlefield, right? But my MOS is different from from his MOS, and we're yammering back and forth, and I just like, well, this Cav Scout's sleeping with your mom.
You're like, I'm still banging your mom.
And I said, I'm banging your mom.
He goes, can I send this? And I said, oh my God, send it. It was a text.
And I sent it, and I felt like awful at first. I was like, that's messed up. Like something that probably would not say to his face, because if he punched me or something, I probably would have to be okay with that, you know? But the funny thing is that I guess he asked one of his buddies. He was in Raph, I think, wasn't he? Wasn't it?
Yeah, he said, look, he goes,
is this, did he win the argument? And his buddies read that.
He goes, well, is he?
He goes, is he banging your mom? He goes like, well, yeah. And he goes, yeah, that argument's over.
That's a conversation.
He won that argument.
But what he responded immediately after he sent it, Tanner writes back, LOL, with the laughing face.
I mean, but
it was pretty. My son's got, Karen knows, my son's got my sense of humor all the way.
But that's still, even for,
let's see,
combat arms guys, even for the, raunchy Cav Scout and infantryman, I was still kind of like, ooh, maybe
But I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, everybody else thought it was okay, so I guess I was lucky.
T only goes for the men that she knows are never coming back. We all know she'd go after Sean once he really left for good. Going for, meaning drag, and once he left for good, she's so predictable, it's pathetic. And we all know why Sean stayed. He's loyal, and he felt obligated to stay with his wife. It's admirable. She doesn't realize it makes her look stupid when she says he'd never leave. Yeah, like she says, like he was a bump on a log, and she kept trying to kick him out, and he wouldn't leave. It's like, well, bitch, you knew how to call the cops.
Yeah.
Right? He wouldn't leave.
It got to the point where the whole town, the cops, everybody, because I worked in the community. I worked at a convenience store. Everybody kind of knew me, and they'd just be like, bro, so yeah.
I always, in my mind, I thought way back when, I assumed that the reason she was so provocative and showed everything and did this, I thought y'all must have a relationship where that turned you on. That was all I could figure. And I'm talking about way from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And that was why I would make vlogs and go, quit showing your titties, you're married. Mm-hmm. And that was before there was I would be like, show him some respect and put your boobs
You never
away.
think you're going to be in this situation. And it's not even like a humility thing. It's like I could watch the times when she was on YouTube and stuff like that, with like Takedown Man or Tatted T. I knew she didn't want them. I knew that she didn't. But that was her game. She knew it was safe. Now she would go out there and I guess, whatever was said, but it's what she did. I mean, you guys said her MO is married men or somebody
newly separated
or people that have a significant other. Mm-hmm. That's
it's a challenge. Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Or because men are so vulnerable.
No, I don't think like a woman, I don't understand that. Guys are completely different,
I guess so.
The way they, the basic thing that people have always said is, like guys are turned on, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's mostly ladies in here. Guys, touch, visuals and stuff like that, visual and this and that. Where women like the touch is more, which they'd really be raging if women got turned on the same way guys do. It would be a free for all. I mean, but then when you find what you want, I think two things: you find what you want, and also when you mature, when it's like there's no more curiosity, there's no more whatever, and then you just. What you want.
There's lots of people, most of them are in this chat, that have a pretty face and have a set of breasts. It's a thing that we're born with. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have them hanging out. And you certainly don't have to have them hanging out when you've got a husband in the house with you.
And you don't have to have them hanging out. I mean, people can see that you have them and what their size are and all that.
You don't have to put them out.
You don't have to hang them out.
So anyway, good night in your dreams. They stopped by to give us a thumbs up and said they're going to
Thank you.
It says she knew she continued to abuse you because you're a good man and you deal with it. She's still in there talking about her past line about Sean still. And now she's throwing Clint under the bus. And I don't know how she... Okay, so
Clint,
Sean called that.
It's
Sean said from the beginning when she was like, oh, I miss him, I love him. Sean goes, wait. When he's good and gone, when he gets married to somebody else, and she realizes, for her, somehow the marriage seems to be the clincher. When Sean and I finally were married, that's when she went full ape shit.
Well, she went, she went ape shit when she got the divorce papers,
but it started
too.
Is the online like slamming or whatever. She seems to understand that when you marry somebody, it's not just that they're going to pack their stuff and leave and come back to you. There's a whole process to it.
Which doesn't make sense to me. Which doesn't make sense to me.
So when she saw the beautiful wedding pictures of Clint and Gabby, she realized, oh, he ain't coming back.
Did she react to that? Did she react to it pretty bad?
Well, she's dragging him. She's
well, but I mean, you guys know.
She said she didn't care, but
I mean,
now
but
she blinds him.
You guys, I'm just asking for the sake of asking. I didn't go peek in and look for. I knew, like. We were like, we're not going to subject them to that, like, remember when we were talking about, they're married and we weren't going to
force when they got married.
Right. Because I didn't see.
She didn't know for sure that they were married. And when she found out that they were for sure married, Clint became not very well endowed down there. He used her for money. He did this, he did that. Sean was like, wait for it. Wait for it. He's going to become, but yeah, it's, and you know what? Let me tell you who's tough is Gabby.
She is tough.
She's tough. Not like she'll fight. She loves her man. He loves her. And she is 100% confident that crazy bitch is not going to come between, not come between them, even like in a romantic sense. But her crazy ass isn't going to cause problems with them.
I was a little bit, but Clint is still on active duty, apparently.
No, he's not. He's retired.
Okay.
Yeah, he's retired.
Yeah.
That's my main point though, is that when they find out that someone's legally married.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Then they become, they have nothing down there. They can't get hard. They can't do this. They can't do that.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Janice is giving her hell, which is interesting because Janice fucking hates me.
Yeah.
Janice, where's my ring?
Yeah.
It's all. It really. It's that
was another case where the vast majority of people were like.
But I'd be. We'd never be besties, but I'm past that now.
No. I'm
asking you.
What?
Past the whole beef with Janice.
Oh yeah. She doesn't come up. She doesn't come up.
No, I mean as far. Oh my gosh.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I know
with
what
her
you mean.
specifically, like I wouldn't.
Right. But I mean, the people that we still might have a little thing with will come up, will be snippy talking to each other about them. That's done.
Yeah.
That's done. Yeah.
But I want my ring.
Yeah.
It can even be like a Bradford exchange ring.
What about, where's this one from? James Avery, right?
It's from the pawn shop, but it was originally James Avery.
And
yes.
you know that somebody that I was working with,
right?
yeah, they're from Texas, and they went, that looks like James Avery. I said, it is.
When we were talking about getting an engagement ring, and I was like, Sean was like, I want you to have one. And I said, okay, but I'm not going to wear it till you're divorced. And he was like, yeah, that's cool. That makes sense. And so I said, we're going to the pawn shop. But he was like, that's fucking awesome. And I was like, why the hell are you going to pay a retail price? And he was like, you don't care about like the karma or the bad juju with the ring. And I was like, hell freaking no. I care that it's...
The thing about gold is, I don't know, gold is...
It's not as much as it was when we sold the ring.
Right, because with the pandemic and all that, kind of everything. But I was surprised at that, because
Karen,
my little band was pretty basic, and it was still worth over $100.
She went apeshit.
You got your Brazilian and dinner.
And we sent the other one back to Mama Smith.
Yeah.
I hope Mama Smith's doing okay. I'm going to send her a Christmas card. I forgot.
We should.
I am. I'm not even being snarky. I'm going to send her one. But yeah, it was like $150 they gave you for that ring, right?
It was like 130
or something. Like that.
And it was not, all it was gold. But at the end of the day, that's all it is. Like when people turn in whatever and it's got, jewels and stuff. I mean, sure, I guess they can take the diamonds out whatever, if they're real diamonds. But mostly what they're looking at when you sell something is the gold in it. Because they just melt it all down.
I know, what is it? Tough titty said the kitty, but the milk's still good. What?
Never heard that.
You've never heard that? Tough titty said the kitty, but the milk's still good. This bitch has moved 3 times in the last year because she didn't know how to pay rent. Sean knew she didn't know how to pay rent, so whatever. She's back on an air mattress, but like a true narcissist, she's sitting in front of it going, "I'm on top of the world."
Yeah, you sure are. You're not even on top of the mattress.
We are gonna go. Tonight we'll go to bed in the same bed in the same place that we've lived in
a year and a half now.
Never been late on the rent. We work together as a partnership to make the household work, and an air mattress is okay when you first move in someplace or you're 18 or whatever. But if you're 45 years old facing your latest eviction and you're on an air mattress, something you're doing isn't working.
What is she driving? I mean, not that.
She was trying
we don't have boho around anymore.
She was trying to say that. She was trying to say that Paula drained her brake lines or something. Something like from a Maverick movie. But
you guys remember when the first couple months after I was gone, I was supposedly still around doing that stuff.
Slicing tires, yeah. I don't think he'd slice tires on a
when
car
I first,
he's paying for.
That's when I
you
first.
weren't even there.
No, and narcissist groups will tell you. You guys have heard me say this, that you have to be, if you're truly done with this, you need to realize that they're gonna fall apart. Their actions, their behaviors, I was really surprised that the grooming went away.
Yeah.
Like it has, but I really knew that it took a turn for the worst. I knew that she had taken a turn for the worst when I think I was in Cincinnati when it happened.
That's
and
what
we
I'm
were
saying.
talking, and then she slashed her own tires.
And then she called the police. She didn't know he was not in town anymore. He had no idea.
Yeah.
So the tires get slashed because she did it. She calls the police. He's not even in the state.
I'm not even there.
That was all parts.
And the cops didn't even call me or anything.
That was all nuances of the stuff that y'all never knew.
But something was said to her, I have to believe, because all of a sudden she didn't even file a claim on it. She didn't even, if I remember, because I think she was still trying to use my insurance and things like that.
She kept trying to re-put herself back on, and it was a monthly phone call.
And I remember that she was saying...
And the insurance, she kept trying... Once the divorce was final, she kept trying to put herself back on.
I was in Asheville because I remember calling my insurance, and they were talking about a claim that was put in, and I was like, what? Well, the tires, and I remember talking to them, and I was saying, I'm not with her anymore. I'm separated from her, and they separated our policies. Mm-hmm. And I think what happened, and I don't know this for a fact, but I think if that claim had gone like she was going to try to put a claim in to get the tires, because you have to claim all 4 or something like that. There's always a thing that some people say that if you're going to want to get somebody, don't slash all 4, just slash 3 or 2, because I think you're supposed to get a whole set, something like that. But I think that the insurance was going to investigate that because it would have been a fraudulent claim. And so when that happened, she dropped it. She stopped talking about it, and I don't know what happened after that. I don't know if she bought used tires or I don't know what happened.
They're all going in and getting blocked and coming back.
Yeah.
Keep on coming back.
Yeah.
Let me ask, did you think that she's seen the Backwoods Barbie video from what, I'm just curious.
Brand new though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know that's why I was trying to figure out the timeline. If not, it's going to be good viewing for her bedtime. But the stuff that we had never, the divorce was final and she was trying to put herself back on it was a whole thing for a while.
I think right now, guys, just my opinion here, pretty good at this cycle stuff. I think since court, you can plan on a lot of streaming, a lot of streaming from her. She won't sleep. This is kind of the part of, the cycle where she doesn't sleep. So enjoy for the next 4 or 5 days, because by Christmas, she'll be out like a light. She'll be
she needs to get back on her psych meds. And I'm not even being mean about that. She needs to get back on her meds. And
Tam's the same way.
A caseworker needs to make her get on her meds.
Tam's the same way. You can, their cycles are pretty similar. Tam will go nuts and don't sleep and be
But I think she's fairly hungover every morning. Tam is. If you look
You think
at her,
she's hungover?
Yeah, I think she's.
I think most of what we see from her is a genuine mental pathology. I could be wrong. She doesn't seem like doesn't fancy me somebody that is using like say a partier would use.
Yeah.
You know, she might.
Granted, I'm not a malignant narcissist, but I do take mental health medicines. And I often used to think, well, if I wasn't on them, would I be as bad as them? And it's not bad. I mean, would I be as afflicted as them? And then the answer to me is no, because they're also at their core mean people.
Right.
I'm not at my, that's what I was thinking, Stitching. That's why I thought she might be hungover. At my very core,
Maybe.
I'm not a mean person. So if you do untreated mental illness and you're just mean, or you have whatever it is, I think that, because I thought, well, what if someday all mental health medicines are outlawed? Am I going to be doing those things? Am I going to be, hurting people like that?
You got to remember, we went through 99% of human history. They didn't have these type of meds. When they were out on the frontier and they were
naturally vain,
rolling the wagons westward, and the Civil War and most of our history, mental health, it's not different.
They used to just write them off as the crazy relatives.
But people have said, have argued that. And they've said, no, mental health is very different because of how our society is. Like somebody that might be bipolar, ADHD, or whatever, or suffer from depression, the stimulants were very different when there was no TV, when there was no radio, there was no internet. There was just, you got up and worked in your town, or you kept the farm or whatever. It's very different then.
Yeah, so, I was watching a special about the history of asylums. I think lithium, if I'm correct, was the first medication ever discovered to benefit people who were mentally ill, and that was kind of like where it all started. What's interesting to me is that Scientologists think psychiatry is bad, right?
I don't know enough about it. There's somebody in the chat may know.
I think it's either Scientology or something. They think that psychiatrists are evil, and that they are putting everybody on medicine, arbitrary, whatever, that even when they don't need it. And that's either true or it's not true. But I think people started to be able to live independently of institutions when I think it was lithium.
Yeah, I mean, the whole lifespan is much longer than 200 years ago. A 53-year-old man that hadn't been afflicted with something was it's a pretty good run. And
people that had dementia or what have you were the village idiots. They would
but there was also some like, say you came from a family with affluence, or that person was cared for, and a lot of times just shut away, where you really didn't see it. Where the village idiot, if somebody was, unfortunately was born to, a poorer family or whatever, or people that couldn't look after them, and they'd go to work, and this person would be left to their own devices, and then they'd do some messed up things that was, society didn't tolerate, and yes, they would be sent away somewhere.
Yeah, and like when they started doing the lobotomies, which were basically just making people take them from their take them from
Rose Kennedy,
acting out to just destroying that part of their brain.
But the Rose Kennedy was sort of contradictory to, that was the family.
That's what I'm saying. She had a lobotomy.
Yeah,
he snuck her off and got a lobotomy and didn't tell the mom to calm her down.
Right. She wasn't allowed to be in the society though.
They said she would rage and things like. She was mentally ill.
Did they ever diagnose exactly what she had, or?
I think it was no. I think it's schizophrenia or something. But Mama Rose Kennedy would have never approved that a lobotomy. The dad he didn't want the Kennedy name. Sawyer. It was all about his sons, the politicians, and that's what it was about. Yep. Very, very sad. And apparently their marriage never recovered from that.
Wow.
Never
The
recovered from
Kennedys,
that.
even today, with everything that we have,
Oh, wow.
people talk about, JFK and what he, his mistresses and this and that, and how that would never happen today because of social media and the way those things spread. I don't know if that's true or not, but I can tell you that living in New England, the Kennedy name is still highly protected. It's they're still untouchable. There was a case, and I don't remember which family member, but there's some of the like the cousins and stuff. They lived in Portsmouth, Rhode Island. They lived the same place that I lived.
Wow.
And one of the Kennedys, it's one of them that if you guys follow it, you would know the name. I'm not sure which one, but he went to like a CVS right there in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, and the pharmacy was closed. They opened the pharmacy for him. It was, I don't know, 9 at night. The CVS was still open, but the pharmacy part in the back was closed. Mm-hmm. They opened it for him, and they got whatever prescription that he wanted. He went to the
gas station.
He went right in the parking lot of the CVS and took whatever and passed out. The police were called, and by now the CVS is closed. The police respond. He's in his car. Another cop shows up, and he drives the Kennedy home to his house and makes sure that he gets into his house. And
is there financial kickbacks for doing that?
I don't know what it is, but the name, I mean, they're high. I mean, I'm sure somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, Teddy Kennedy basically drove that car off a bridge because he was drunk and didn't even help that girl get out, right?
Yeah.
And one shot a girl in the front yard and said it was self-defense or something, and he got away with it. Remember that?
Yeah, it's what was the name of that? It's out there on Martha's Vineyard where that happened, where the car was driven off of.
And then the one that got tried for in the early 90s maybe, or the late 80s, got tried for rape. Remember? He was one of the nephews was being tried very publicly for it, and I believe he got off.
Yeah, but then
yes.
Chapo, whatever.
Sawyer.
But also the family has been afflicted with a lot of tragedy too, like the dude who crashed the plane.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
They have. I mean, there's a lot of karma that struck that family too.
Yeah, absolutely, and with John F. Kennedy Sr. in particular. I mean, they had the infant that died. Jackie died later, but it was like the senior Kennedy boy died in the war. His plane crashed. He was the one that he had wanted to groom for president. Mm-hmm. And then there was John, Robert. They both died young, tragically.
Yeah. Patrick Kennedy was one of the younger ones.
And it was when JFK Jr. died, of course, they're like, this is the Kennedy curse.
Yeah, and there was one Kennedy that, took a whole bunch of Ambien and, walked off a balcony and hurt himself. I mean, just crazy.
Yeah.
How untouchable the family is.
What's wrong, baby?
It's still same. It's still, I mean, you don't hear a whole lot of about them anymore, but they're still that untouchable royalty, all of them.
Yes, I did. Trash Panda Backwoods Barbie did a video on it was Trisha, Sean, and me. Very, very flattering for me. I've known her. She'll explain this, but I've known her long before. You'll see. She had no idea that TT was his ex-wife. She knew us independently of that, and not a month ago, she was like, whoa,
Debbie
whoa.
said, Mandi, I saw it. I love it.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
She did. Yeah. And she didn't even know about the current Paula situation. That we didn't talk. She didn't find, she's very facts. And then after she shows you the facts, she's going to give you her opinion. And that, I don't even think
and she's got a following.
She said all she does is file charges on people. And she said she's been arrested multiple times. And I went, well, no. And I was like, oh, she has. Mm-hmm. I didn't even think about that multiple times.
And the good thing for us, and I'm just going to say it, is that she's got a following, and she said, yeah, like I said, Mandi said it was very flattering for Mandi, every time Dr. Phil is shown, Mandi can tell. I'm looking at here we go again. Yeah. I will be surprised if I said to Mandy that
She's good, isn't she?
that video is allowed to stay up in its entirety. She may have to edit and take the Dr. Phil out because Dr. Phil comes after people.
It won't win.
We won't, but she did speed up the voices and everything, so
Yeah.
that's probably all she needs to do.
I was gonna.
It's a good video.
The link is somewhere. I was gonna copy it and paste it. Someone went and got it for us. A mod did, but I don't see it.
Didn't let it go. Put it in there in the chat right
That's
at the
what
very,
I'm trying to
at the very
see.
beginning. Woo.
If someone, it might still be under your clipboard if you could paste it. I posted it everywhere. Sean, I didn't post it.
I'm gonna post our PO box for everybody again.
Oh, and yeah, I remember when she had very few, maybe 1,500 subs or something.
So that was when we were in Cedar Park.
Mm-hmm. And then I subbed to her then, and I kept up with her. And then I was like, damn near, I would say within 9 months, she got all those subs. Well, maybe more of a year and a half. She got what she has, and she works constantly for her things. Her videos are well done and they're researched.
And she's a good speaker too.
That's how it. Oh, and her mama's got chicken. She posted not too long ago. She posted a video at her mom. She's got. There you go. Thank you, Karen. She's got. Do you need to go potty, Sawyer? I'm gonna open the door. She calls her chickens the. Yes. She was mentioned by Was she really naturally? She was mentioned by Wendy Williams for real.
Really?
I didn't know that.
That'll give you a good kick.
Yeah,
in the,
that
kick
might
in the
be.
pants.
Yeah. We've everything she said is right. We've gotten close. I don't know. I feel like when I make a friend with somebody, they're my friend until they are not, because they dox. Anyway,
or they decide they don't want.
They
the
decide they
too.
don't want to be friends or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're my friend,
then you know Mandi.
Yeah.
You start to know Mandi. Mandi, the people that, I'll say this, I'll take liberty to say it. People that think that Mandi's a bitch or whatever, or she's a snake, that's two different things, being a bitch and being a snake. But, Mandi is, sensitive to things sometimes, and she will tell, she'll tell people to fuck right off. Her heart is golden, though. Her heart is I love it. She's at the base. The people, and you guys that know her know, a lot of their friendships, when they end, they normally, the root of the end is something that's, meaningful that ended. But a lot of the snarky people tend to pay attention to snarky comments because it's drama, and she can be that way.
Other than a few people noticing that Angela wasn't a mod anymore, no one really knew what happened. Yeah. When Morgan posted that PayPal thing, I was like, what the? I just let the friendship go. Like I didn't, and that's what I want my friends to feel like, is like if ours goes down in flames.
You can just walk away and don't walk away in anger.
Right.
Mandi is somebody that, like,
I know. I was kind of bad.
She can get her feelings hurt, or she could be sensitive to something and react. This is somebody that can look at somebody who's drunk or under the influence and understand a little bit about it. And she's had an incredible journey. She's a great mother, and yeah, you guys know. There's not a single mod. Our mods are all, Mandi had these well thought out Christmas presents, and everyone that's holding the wrench and is going to get something that's in thanks from us. And it's not something that I'm a nice dude, and all that. But when you look at what Mandi picks out, it's because she thinks about her connection with people and the friendship and what would, we don't have $1 million to spend on people, but it's the little things. And some of you guys know.
You're sweet that you even noticed that, or of course you noticed it. But
this is my better half.
Yeah,
this is the stuff that I don't do. I'll go out and work till I'm exhausted to make sure that we have things, and then she takes care of the things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the thing that I said then when when everybody was dropping, everybody was dropping DMs, I said, if I've been there to lend an ear, and if I've been there to lend an ear, I talked shit with you or whatever. It was like, I'm not, you reveal all that, you reveal all that. It's not going to change who I am. So if, we've had some snarky conversations about whatever, that it's just not that serious because it's YouTube and you choose to release those, that's a pretty bitch move. It's a bitch move.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change.
If you think of the pockets of people, though, I've mentioned this to Mandi, and this was even when I wasn't with her, and I just, I was a friend, but there would be little things that, maybe she wasn't as friendly with somebody as she used to be friendly with. If you look at the little pockets of people that don't like her, and you say, why don't you like her? Well, she's just a snake. It's just because you got drugged for filth or something. You got on the wrong side of something in the YouTube drama. That's all.
It's drama. It's
That's
YouTube
all,
drama.
But.
And they're talking about getting more mental hospitals in the Portland area. And he doesn't talk. He lives at going to 3 Costco's, getting me something he thought I'd like. That's very cool. That's like he said, my husband doesn't talk. He lives it. It's going to 3 Costco's to get me something he thought I'd love.
Yeah.
Let me see. Exactly. Not only did she post my PayPal, she put amounts and things like that.
And it had nothing to do with Mandi.
But you know what I did before it all hit the fan? When someone sent me the screenshot, and I saw that Morgan had posted it, and I looked and got an alert, and I was like, huh. You know what the first thing I did? Boop! And the first line I said is, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
She didn't even know it had been posted. That was the first thing. And it was like, whatever. I was like, if you want to dox that you borrowed money, then go ahead and dox that you borrowed.
And that one, every once in a while, she wants to poke her head up, and she gets a little bit, I don't know what, she gets a little bit of confidence.
Sarah.
She gets a little bit of confidence, says something about whoever.
Yeah.
And then you let it happen because
Karen, she's like, I care less about people that hate me. Yeah, I mean, you just can't spit a sneaky snake.
No can beats for you if you don't like Karen.
You can't, it's like when a real friendship turns into YouTube drama, it's like, well, now that it's YouTube drama, let's just make it YouTube drama.
Yeah.
Alexa is listening.
Yeah. Maybe it was Alexa.
We don't want to start her talking.
No. Alexa, are you awake?
Earlier, Alexa told me my bank account number. She told me like what my my mom's deeps. My dad's not my dad. She told me all of that.
She told me.
I didn't know she was listening.
She told me Alexa spit out Paula's complete name. Every bit of it.
Yeah, the Alexa, the hack. She's like, why didn't you have my back? Because you're talking lunacy. You're saying that Paula hacked your Alexa.
That Alexa, yeah.
We're not
going to have your back for that.
How do I defend that?
There's a difference between a friend that is in court litigation and some things don't seem to jive right, and you don't drop them for that. You have their back for that. It doesn't seem right, but you still have their back. When somebody says their Alexa's hacked and they get mad because you don't, we're not going to have your back for that.
Well, and it just was she said, I always have your back and you never have mine. I'm like, because you're always caught lying. You are always messy lying. Why you always lying? Yeah, did she tell you who your son was hanging? Yeah, she said my son's name and then his friend's name and I was like, oh my God, I can't with that. But you know what? For a while it was like, okay, you're just that.
The one that got me was when she has a profile picture that is a relative.
She just put it on Twitter.
She put it on Twitter, and then somebody took it that already has beef with her that doesn't like her.
Not just anybody took it. Katie took it.
Katie took it, and it's like, why don't you have my back? For what? You put the picture on there.
I was like, your dumb ass put it out there. What
are we backing you up with? What are we dragging you for?
And then you didn't even have your settings set where only a certain people could see it or whatever. I get that he's your whole life, he's your heart. I get that. Mine is too. I don't well, he wouldn't give a shit. He would be like, bring it on.
Hey Megan,
you think you've been trolled before? They asked how many earlier, Panda, I haven't forgotten. She asked how many chickens we had.
Oh, so including the babies I was
going to go grab one of the babies.
You want to see the babies again? You
want
a baby
all
update?
Of them. Just the brown one.
You want to get the brown one? You guys have got to see the brown one. So we have right now outside, we have 7 that are now I consider grown, right? Because
there's 7.
Yeah.
Since the other Brahma.
Yes, there's 2 Americanas, 1 Brahma. We have red. We have the rooster. We have the 2 silkies.
Hey, Hypno Man. So.
Oh, we have 4.
While you grab that, I can. So the whole thing. Did I release Angela's last name? It doesn't really matter. You got to keep your scope bigger. You sent freaking nudes to Negs and whoever else. Probably know your last name too. I'm not sure, but at least I didn't have the nudes. I just don't care what your last name is. Nobody cares about your info. Nobody's gonna stalk you with your info. Nobody cares. And if you would quit fucking with Paula, she'd probably quit messing with you. But you would do it every single time. There's the baby. That's the brown one.
This is.
Look, Sawyer's like, no, that's my baby.
It's okay.
That's the baby.
Look at how pretty the wings are.
Was he asleep?
No.
I don't know why I think it's a boy.
Yeah, Mandy thinks that this one's a rooster. Look at how pretty.
He's very curious.
He looks like a little hawk.
Hi. The one that didn't make it out of the shell looked like him. I think he's an Americana.
He might be.
I think he's an Americana and a tiny together.
Yeah, go back in there.
I know a million last names. I think he pooped on me, but that's okay. I didn't. You went for Paul again, and you got what you went for. Yeah, that's my one concern with the current relationship is that with. I mean, I'm glad that they're together, Negs and DC, but if there are nudes that play here, let's keep them, if it goes south, let's keep all of the nudes locked down where they belong. That's all I'm saying. Keep them locked down. The other thing I was going to say about the chickens, look, I'm trying to keep, okay, so there's a coop. There's a little set of woods and there's a coop. There's chickens everywhere. We're in a rural area. A lot of them free range, but they stay pretty much on everybody's property. Who knows who those hens have gone, which roosters they've gone and banged through the woods or over there or whatever. So, right. So, that's the thing is like, we assume that Tiny's the dad, but those hens go all the way through the woods. They go that way. There's some Easter eggers back there. There's a few different things. So we might have a pretty good variety. I want to get a silky rooster so that our silkies, I know, right? Google has them. I want to breed the silkies because they're little divas and they're so adorable. And Ozzy was the silky rooster we had. But since Karen had her Cujo issue with that Cujo the rooster, I'm worried about getting a different rooster.
I hope that one is a hen, but
I don't know. I was like, I mean, that was we've started taking the eggs though. We don't let Presley, that's the black silky that we have. We don't she keeps them completely toasty warm.
I mean, I don't even have to be like when we retrieved the eggs, they were like, oh my God, these are warm. They would have hatched if they were incubated. I mean, if they were fertilized. But I don't even have to. All I got to do is open up the box, and that thing starts.
You know that Karen's husband now they call that rooster was Cujo.
Was it that what they called it?
Bloodthirsty rooster. But now the one that they have is a perfect rooster.
Yeah.
I took over, and it's what.
What kind of rooster is it? I mean, what breed is the new one?
I know that the Ocelot is the one that was the mean one.
I thought it was a leghorn that was mean.
Oh no, it was. So this one is the
Ocelot. Yeah, Ocelot. They're good. And if you have.
Oh, cool, Exo.
If you have.
Y'all sub to that. He's got a reaction channel.
Who does?
Exo family.
Oh yes.
An Astrolop, that's what she said.
The Ocelot is a good breeder. I mean, as far as like, if you do want to try to, hatch some of them out, get a clutch of, 4 to 6 of them. That's a good, if you look up crossbreeding, Australorp roosters are good ones. Rhode Island red roosters, ours is a Rhode Island red. That's a good crossbreeder too.
But not silkies and Rhode Island reds.
No, we looked up silky and Rhode Island red mix, and they're kind of like sort of ugly. But but the red or the brown and the red are supposed to be really good. And Mandy's right. When you see that bird that we just showed you, that does not look like a brown ISA in it at all.
I need to give him a Zyrtec.
So you can probably give him some. So Mandy's right. It could be a Brahma mix.
That's what I was wondering. Let me
just
get the thing real quick. I hope he'll eat it. And like I was telling them, it could be. They might have gone down there.
Yeah, you remember the ones that were the one you saw on the road?
Yeah,
there's like 5 or 6 of them that look like that one.
I think that's an Easter egg, isn't it?
It could be. It did look like kind of a Brahma mix anyway. So what we are thinking about doing, this is why we need to get a bigger, we like the house, we like the size of it, we just don't have much property around it. Our neighbors are really super cool. We don't have any neighbors on the other side, it's woods. So we're thinking about putting another small coop. Like right now, the coop is on the north side of the house. Like our house runs north to south. We're in the southern end. So this end of it, we're thinking about putting a smaller little coop or some type of A-frame on this side. We might have to we'll have to see how if all 4 of these chicks make it and how they'll integrate into the flock.
Yeah.
So anyway.
And then we're gonna make a baby and put that in there to save some money. I'm gonna be like, no. We gotta don't charge us all that money. Just make it in the Petri dish.
That's right.
Give it to us. We got an incubator.
We got an incubator and we got a nursery. We'll just kick the chickens out.
That's all we need.
And that's what we do.
Please eat it.
Eat it, buddy.
Yay. Sawyer,
Just gonna eat a Zyrtec.
the vet says if he's scratching a whole lot, he can have a Zyrtec. These pill pockets are hit or miss if he'll take them, and I got to make sure he eats it.
He ate it.
Did he eat the pill
gone,
too?
Yeah.
Okay, without the cat getting it. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. I'll give you have a ton. I'm not going to give you more pills, but I'll give you a pill pocket.
They're little chewy things that are made specifically so you can put medication
This is the only kind I've ever seen him is a hickory smoke. He won't eat.
Smells good. I may try one.
You want to eat it?
I'll try one.
No. You'll start barking. The other day he was, he likes Vivazins, the little kratom shots. They had a female one for a while that was pink and stuff, and it was supposed to be for females. And they were like trying to sell it to him, and he goes, well, will I have a period if I take it? That man didn't know what to say.
He didn't know what to say. I said, why is it for women? I mean, what is it?
He's like, I get a period?
And all they did was they put like a raspberry flavor in it. And the only reason I bought them was because they're like half price. They couldn't sell them, so I bought
a Brahma. Just rewound. X of them said it's a Brahma.
The one that we just showed. We do have a Brahma.
It's a Brahma.
Well, that's what he said.
We have a Brahma female.
We
is
have
it a Brahma?
female Brahma that we didn't know.
See, he knows.
Yeah, he said that one that we were holding was a Brahma.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure. Yeah. So a Brahma and a tiny.
It would be a Rhode Island red Brahma mix, and that means it's gonna have the feathers on its feet.
I will go get the rest of them and be like,
gonna...
For a while, XO, you should have seen what was going on. Like when it was right after this one was born for like a week, it would fall on its side and kick its feet, and he couldn't get right back up. So we were taking turns checking,
holding it
to get.
It seems to be strong
he would do
enough
it
now
under the heat lamp, and we had to make sure. He'll piss on your clothes.
He would. Oh, yeah.
So it's. I'm gonna get you something else, but not yet.
It's a real. I mean,
so it's not an Americana.
He thinks it makes sense that he said Brahma because we do have a Brahma that we weren't sure if she was even laying yet.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit lighter color egg than the brown ISA.
That's what I knew. There was one lighter color. Actually, there was two. That one didn't make it.
Right. Yeah.
The other one was. Oh, that's interesting.
So I'm gonna grab one of the other chicks, XO, real quick. And you can. This would be the Rhode Island red and brown mix, and I think it is.
I never saw Tiny bang one of the Brahmas, but I did see him get with the Americana the other day. He gets with Red several times a day. Our brown ISA, he and that one are together several times a day. But I've heard that after one encounter, they're fertile for 22 days or something like that. Isn't that what you said, Sean?
What?
They're fertile for 22 days?
No, that's when you start incubating, it takes 21 days.
Oh, I thought you said that after they bang.
So the other ones look kind of like this one.
That one.
Look at it.
He has been let it go. He knows a lot about chickens.
Who, XO?
Yeah.
So this would be, the other ones look kind of like this. And so we're thinking brown ISA and Rhode Island Red.
Yeah. I'm curious
Look at
to
that,
know.
he's cool. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's okay, buddy. Oh, he's trying to hide. Look.
He's like, he said, we only get white chickens. Forget the breed. They do well in Canadian winters. They said, I think Brahmas do well in the wintertime too.
They said Brahmas don't do particularly well in the heat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Karen, Karen and I talked, they got little personalities. I thought around 30, but you're probably, okay, that's what I thought. So even if this rooster was like not here, they could still be laying fertilized eggs for 22 days or 30 days or whatever. That's interesting. Well, I'm excited. It's a little Brahma. It's definitely an ISA mix. That one
That's
you
what
had.
that is, yeah.
That's interesting. Now I know which eggs are the Brahma eggs.
So the daddy is a Rhode Island Red, so that's cool.
That's very cool.
So do you think that that's the lighter egg is probably the Brahma?
That's what I think. I had never seen her in there laying it. I'd never seen them together.
No.
But the other day I saw them sneak off to our little awning thing when she was on that little perch.
Really?
And I was like, you better hope Red doesn't catch you up
See,
there.
with Red, we'll see Red. Red will go to the nesting box. I'm just wondering if the
yeah.
the Brahma's not laying somewhere else.
EXO, can our Rhode Island Red, I'm not gonna give them anymore. She ate one too. Is the Rhode Island Red, can it get with like a little Bantam Silky? It's a Bantam Silky, right?
Yeah, we have two little Bant. Our Silkies are
Brahma
Bantams.
eggs are lighter than most. See?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm glad he came through for many reasons, but extreme winters, we need a breed that works well. There's a breed? Okay.
Brahmas work good. What I read is that Brahmas are good in the winter, but maybe won't be so good in our like Georgia summers. You just got to make sure they have shade and things like that.
The other question, XO, is okay. Listen, no broody hens, right? They would lay their eggs, then peace out. They didn't care. But after we hatched those and they're in there peeping and they hang outside during the day, when they hear the babies peeping, and I even came and showed them the baby, do they get broody? Does that like awaken something? Because they're broody in the middle of the wintertime.
The Silkies rarely leave the nesting boxes unless they're eating and stuff.
Right. So did that make them broody? I thought it was like when I was like, this is your baby. And they're probably like, we got to get our shit together.
I mean,
I need a crib.
I need a job.
That's Tiny. And like, Tiny, you got a lot of babies in there. He's like, they aren't all mine.
They're not mine.
I got green feathers. There ain't a green feather in that bunch.
That's pretty cool. Now I guess they're all the brown mix
Karen,
because
don't hatch any. Don't incubate them. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So the brown ones, like even though the little yellow ones that are the brown mix, one of them, like two of them are the same color and one of them's a little lighter. But I guess that just might be.
It could be a multitude of different things. But I'm excited. A little Brahma Rhode Island Red baby.
So probably will have the hairy feet, the feathers on the feet.
That's cool. I'm excited.
Mandy, we just have to make sure
you would think it was our baby.
We just have to make sure that we don't show that one more attention than the others.
I know.
They're all equal.
But it seems to also be much more curious and friendly.
Oh yeah,
the Brahma babies were friendly. As
soon as we put that one down, like it acts the way it acts, but when I put it down, it's craning its neck and it's going to the,
Yeah, I think it's adorable. Hold on. Let's see here. I was seeing. So let me go back to us. There's us. That's me and that's you. Okay.
So we about to ready to
I'm
go.
getting
huh?
a little bit antsy to watch Emergency, you guys.
Yes, and I've got to check in on because the Mavericks are also on, and they're probably at halftime right now too. So there's
So it's all perfect.
Yep.
Look, so you guys, in case you missed it, Backwoods Barbie, there's links, a couple of links in here. If y'all could do it one more time. Did a show starting with Dr. Phil all the way to the current, just about the situation. Very well done. Give it a view and then tell us what you think.
Yeah.
I am hooked on Emergency and I need a t-shirt. And I'm trying to figure out what's so...
I'm so like thrilled that she likes it. She does.
He doesn't cut it off anymore.
Mandy doesn't like when she watches TV or she watches a little bit. Like she doesn't watch a lot of TV. She'll watch the videos that she watches. But last night I almost thought that you were either anxious or something because you were very quiet. But it turns out you're just watching it. You're just watching it.
I was watching it. It's a good show. For the time, it's a good show. And you don't have to worry about, like, a lot of making out and stuff like... Not that I don't want to see that, but sometimes it's good just to see someone who their content is just good old emergency.
It's 1970s, drama TV, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
This was made before she was born, so...
And the only time I had seen men like that were in 70s porn. There's that. Anyways.
But they're just not making out, people.
Yeah. And I like it because also their teeth. Yeah, so we talked about I Am a Killer. There is now I Am a Killer released on Netflix. That's the title of it. I Am a Killer released. And it's episodes following a guy that was literally on death row in Texas at one time. When they commuted it to a life sentence in the 60s. Oh, you're still working. It's not a... Oh, very cool. Okay, so then it got commuted to life in jail. Then there's a law that they have to be eligible for parole in like 30 years. So by that, he hit 30 years and he was paroled. And he had a pen pal that he started calling Mama. And he was allowed to leave. On parole. She's the permanent resident of where he is for the next year. He can only leave if his parole officer says that it's okay. Otherwise, he has to be there. They're not romantically involved, at least not that I can tell at this point, but I'm only on like the 3rd episode. So literally went from death row to parole.
Yep.
It's interesting. Watch it. Netflix, sponsor me. They're like, bitch, I wouldn't sponsor y'all.
You might.
That's cool, EXO.
Thanks for letting us know. We knew that it wasn't just like they weren't all the same, and like maybe another one, like maybe a dominant trait, from the mom and dad. And like Mandi said, there was 5 big eggs total, and 4 of them hatched, and one of them, the one that didn't make it, also looked like the one that the other one. But it's clearly this one doesn't look like the others. It was sort of clear, so now we kind of know. Yeah,
Karen, I'm having mixed things too. In one of the first 2 episodes, when he first gets there, he washes her feet. He's a big Christian. Everybody turns into, they find Jesus in prison, whatever. So he was like, to humble myself, I need to wash her feet. So he's getting ready to wash her feet, and she's going, what are you doing? Part of me thinks that maybe they filmed it after, like they're recreating what it was like when he first got out, but it's not necessarily right then. But yeah, I would be like, if I let someone stay, I'd be like, you don't need to wash my feet, dude. Just throw rent my way.
That might be going on right across the street at that other house too.
It's
they're
interesting.
Always where dudes showing up there, and anyway.
Y'all should watch it.
What did Trash Panda said she's watching?
Dangerous Liaisons. I'll have to watch that. There's
That's
another
a show,
one
though, right? That's a regular show.
Karen told me another one to put on the to-watch list, and I added it.
It is creepy, Debbie.
The Meghan and Harry, apparently, because Sean and I passed judgment on Meghan and Harry, Meghan in particular, someone had an opinion about that. The Beast did not like that we are obsessed with Meghan and Harry.
Well, narcissists looking out for other narcissists.
Narcs supporting narcs. It's
what happens.
Very strange thing. You guys have a good night.
Have a good night. I'm going to give them some more crumble because I put a little bit in, and they kind of... I was watching them. They do scratch, but they cover it up.
If you put it in a little tray, they turn around and shit in it. They don't even know it's food.
I know.
You have to put it in the thing. Priceley.
Hey, Presley. Presley shows
She's
up.
like, good
right
evening.
then. Good
Presley,
evening.
Backwoods Barbie video today. She did a video on Dr. Phil to the present. I'm sorry. I wish it's 90. We've been on 90 minutes, but watch the replay and we'll be here tomorrow.
We will. I have got to go feed my chickens.
Love you guys. For
we
real.
do.
Love you, everybody. Presley, hope everyone is having a good night. I'm going to start saying I love you because everybody else does, so why not?
I love.
I think y'all are fantastic. Some of you I do love in God's way. But yeah.
In that way.
Night. Have a good night, you guys. Bye. Good night.